Ghosts of the Outer Depths, a post-World War II historical fiction series by A. Philip Radke, is dedicated to my grandfather, Ralph H. Veccie, United States Marine Corps, Private First Class, of the 5th Marine Division, Headquarters Battalion, and to the Marines of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th Divisions who crossed the black sands of Iwo Jima during World War II, with a courage that still echoes through history. For the ghosts they carried, and the ones they left for us to remember.
Preface. This story began with silence, the kind carried home by the men who survived World War II, and the silence I found myself sitting with during the isolation of the COVID-19 pandemic. Stripped of routine and noise, I was left with nothing but space. Space to confront who I was, the privileges that shaped my life, and the unsettling truth that I was safe while the world outside fractured. That stillness pushed me to look backward, to the people whose sacrifices made my life possible, to the generations whose courage I inherited without ever earning, and to the ghosts of a war that shaped the nation I grew up in. Among them was my grandfather, Ralph H. Veccie, U.S. Marine Corps, Private First Class, 5th Marine Division, Headquarters Battalion, one of thousands of young Americans who crossed the black sands of Iwo Jima with a courage that still echoes through the decades. His story and the shadowed legacy of the Marines of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th Divisions became the spark that would grow into this work. Conceived during that period of isolation and shaped through years of research, this series returns to the turbulent moment when the United States dissolved the Office of Strategic Services on October 1, 1945. It was a point of fracture, a world ending, and another, more covert one, taking shape in its wake. Victory and uncertainty lived side by side, and the earliest shadows of the Cold War began to lengthen across the globe. From that crossroads emerged a single question, one that has guided this narrative from its inception. What if the war had not ended for everyone? What if decorated soldiers and unsung heroes continued their service, not on open battlefields, but in the murky realm of covert operations? What if Axis remnants still worked in secret to reshape a broken world? What if the United States and the Soviet Union entered a silent struggle long before the world had a name for it? And what if a captured submarine, stolen in the dark, crewed by men who were never meant to exist, became the fulcrum upon which the future might turn? These questions form the spine of the story that follows, testing the limits of loyalty, the cost of sacrifice, and the shape of power in a world still reeling from global war. Beneath every mission lies the deeper exploration of what conflict leaves behind: memory, trauma, brotherhood, and the uneasy silence that settles after the gunfire fades. This series honors my grandfather's legacy and the countless others whose courage, scars, and resilience endured long after the final surrender. It is a reflection on justice, the burden of duty, and the unyielding spirit of those who refuse to surrender to the uncertainties of their time. From the black sands of the Pacific to the dark waters beneath. Hoorah! A. Philip Radke.